Good afternoon, folks. Chef Dan from Dan's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make something quite popular and very yummy. I'm going to make some roast pork with some nice roast potatoes and sweet potatoes. Yum. Alright, so first of all, I've got here a roasting tray. And I've got here a mini leg roast because I'm not serving that much people. Alright, so we've got here 1.3 28 grams. So that's, kilo, 328 grams. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a small amount of oil. Right. About 2 to 3 tablespoons. Yeah, don't need too much, as I said. Now, I'm just going to cut this out. Pays to work in that industry, because what we're going to do now is make the crackling. Alright, I need to talk really serious business here, okay? It's very important when making a nice roast pork crackling that, one, the oven is preheated and very hot. Like, I've set it to 220 degrees Celsius because I've got a fan forced oven. If I didn't have a fan forced oven, it'd be 240. So we've got the oven preheated to 220, nice and hot, raring to go. And then it is very important now we get a paper towel, and what I'm doing here is wiping off all the moisture that's on the skin. Okay. We need to wipe all of it off so it's nice and dry. So it's not so moist. Yeah, I know all the moist jokes, but yeah. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay. It never hurts to keep wiping until you're satisfied. Okay, so that's nice and dry and all ready. Okay, so now we've got to add like a olive oil spray. I use olive oil, but you can use whatever oil you want. Okay, it's very important that it is sprayed onto the skin, like that. Not too much, but make sure that it covers the skin, and that you add a generous amount of salt. But don't overdo it though. So you want plenty so that it covers the skin. Okay. Now we are going to place this in the nice hot oven. Hey Siri, set timer for half an hour.
Okay, 30 minutes and counting.
Okay, so now that the pork is in the oven, it needs to be in there for half an hour. Yep, at the 220 degrees temperature. Okay, so yeah, you don't need to add too much oil to the tray. Just enough for the pork to sit in, because the fat from the pork is going to ooze out anyway as it's heating up, further helping to grease the roasting tray. And that's what's going to make the roast potatoes and whatnot taste even better, because the flavour from that fat is going to make it taste extra yummy. Alright, so let's meet back in half an hour then, yeah? Alright, so the time is almost up. Hang on. Okay, now we had this roasting at 220 degrees Celsius for half an hour. So now we're going to reduce the heat to about 190. I know it says 180, but I like to do 190. I like to tweak a bit. But yeah, and because I calculated, right, the size of the roast, so like its weight, to be 1.328. So yeah, 1 kilo 328. Okay, that's what it said on the packet. So like per 25 minutes, like 500 grams per 25 minutes. Okay, let's just say, yep. So it's 50 minutes for that kilo, and like 25 divided by 5 is 5, and then 500 grams. So divided by 5 is 100 gram. So then 100 grams would equal to 5 minutes. So for the 328 grams extra, all right, so that's like 15 minutes. So so that 5, 10, 15. All right, so so it's for the 15 minutes. And because there's an extra 28, I added an extra 3 minutes to it. So 50 minutes plus 18 would be 70 minutes. Hey Siri, set timer for 70 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Alrighty then. So now what we're going to do is wait until 45 minutes, 45 minutes before the we add the roast veggies, or the veggies, because they won't be roasted yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what I'm going to do at the moment is let's turn the shutters. So it's coming along alright so far. Maybe spray a bit more oil to that. This helps it cook through. Okay, we don't need a lot. Okay, so let's chuck that back in the oven. Okay. We'll see you when it comes to 45 minutes. Okay, so while we are waiting for the roast to get cooked a bit more, we are going to prepare the roast veggies. Okay, so like 45 minutes before the roast is due to come out, we're going to add the potatoes. So yeah, I'm adding just normal potatoes, and I'm also going to add a nice yummy sweet potato. kind of looks like an internal organ, doesn't it? But it's yummy. It's almost like a pumpkin. Okay, so I'm just going to peel the potatoes first. Yeah. All right. See, what happened was last week I tried filming like a video for this for my roast pork, but unfortunately, when I went to format it, like my memory card, I didn't realise I also erased all the footage that I filmed from last week's attempt. So I'm doing this again. Yeah. It was very silly, wasn't it? But yeah, that just means I get to cook it again. Yeah. Now, let's... Yeah. Right. I'm gonna be... the skin is... There we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm gonna roast quite a few potatoes this time, because they go really well with the pork that I'm cooking. I don't mean to sound cocky, but a lot of my family and friends have said my roast potatoes are really nice. Well, I'm no hero. I mean, I just learnt how to do this from my mum. Yeah, I learnt a lot of useful skills off of her when, you know, growing up, learning how to properly cook. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and with crackling. Yeah, yeah. Someone at my work who doesn't work there anymore, but she said that you know, sometimes the crackling is nice, but sometimes it doesn't work out as we would like. Hopefully, this one does work out. Otherwise, it's going to be a major embarrassment if it doesn't. Okay. Last one. Okay. What else? Oh, yeah. Funny story in relation to roast pork. Right. I was at work one night and some... kid wanted, I think he wanted roast pork for dinner, because when his mum said yes, all right, you can have it, he was so excited. He was running up and down the aisle screaming out, "Roasted, roasted, roasted! Yeah, roasted, roasted!" It was so funny. Sometimes I almost keep saying roasty, roasty because of him. It's funny. Right, now, next we've got here the sweet potato. Time to peel that. I think a sweet potato is almost similar to pumpkin. But yeah, they will definitely have their differences. Like, definitely with the way you prepare pumpkin, because pumpkin has a very tough skin. Unlike the sweet potato, you just use a peeler to peel it off. But you can't do that though with a pumpkin. Otherwise, you can start looking for a new peeler, because it's going to break it, or it's going to stuff it up. Yeah. Okay. and just, yeah, look all over the vegetable to make sure that all the skin is peeled off. Right, now I'm just gonna get rid of this skin. Just gonna check out. Okay, so 58 minutes, so about 13 minutes before this has to go into the oven. So now, firstly, I'm going to cut up the sweet potato. Right, so first there's this dried bit that I want to cut off, because I can get pretty pedantic. And we're just going to cut them up like this. Like it was a sushi, like a California roll, but it's much harder than a California roll. Yeah, had sushi a few days ago when I caught up with one of my mates. He loves going out to have sushi with me. Yeah, it's fun. He's a good bloke. Yeah, I met him at work when I started. Yeah. Okay, this one's a pretty thick piece. So what I'm going to do with this one is maybe half that. Nope, I'm going to quarter that one. Yeah, 'cause it looks too thick. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is pour some oil in this roasting tray. So about a quarter of a cup will suffice. Don't want it too oily, but you don't want it to have, not so much oil. If that makes sense. Like, probably no more, no less than a quarter of a cup, depending on the size of your roasting tray, and make sure the oil goes all over the base. Okay. So what I'm going to do is probably put them on this plate, because now I need some room to cut these fellas up. I've got roughly 8 more minutes. So now, see, because this is a bigger potato, I'm going to cut it like into 3s, and I'm going to maybe cut them into kind of like wedges or whatever shape you feel. It's your choice. But yeah, this is just my recommendation, because when we roast them, they're going to kind of shrivel. Not too much, but they'll shrivel just a tiny bit, so they'll be a bit smaller. Okay. I'll cut that one in half. So I'm going to quarter this one because that's just a small to medium size. And again with, I should put that more here in the middle so you can all see. Just do like that. Because I notice my mother, she sometimes makes this kind of shape, like halves them. But maybe this one, I'm gonna quarter it into wedges. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna wedge that one because that looks a bit too thick. Okay, now this one, I'm gonna cut this one into thirds. Okay, but that piece I'm gonna cut into a wedge. These two, yeah, will be sufficient. And I'm gonna add them to this plate where I'll cut up the sweet potatoes. I've got unwanted company. Okay. Now, let's just pull them on like that. We got 7 more minutes to spare, but that's alright. That won't be near enough time for these to dry up, which is what we want. That suits me just fine. Okay, so yeah, see you in 5. Alright. So there's gonna be about 4 odd minutes before the 45 minutes remain. So what we're going to do is add some of the potato to the roasting pan that we oiled up a bit earlier. Okay, so try and get as much as you can on here. Okay, so try not to overcrowd it, but if you do, then it's acceptable, but try not to, okay? Just gonna spread these out a bit. How many more? How much more left do you think we could put on here? Okay. Maybe a couple more. Right. Just going to give them a spray so that there's oil on the top so they don't get dry. I'm going to sprinkle some salt. You can sprinkle as much or as little as you want, but don't over salt it, otherwise it'll be too salty. And now I'm going to get some pepper. Just sprinkle the pepper sparingly, otherwise it'll be too peppery. There. Alright. And we have just 2.5 minutes to spare. And with the rest of these, that was just a guide, that timer. So maybe we could add that one. Yeah, probably just one more. Okay. There. Not going to worry about peppering that one. But yeah. So the rest of these are going to go in with the roast, with the tray with the roast. Okay. So So, the 45 minutes left remaining. We're now going to add the rest of the potatoes. Looking good so far. What I'm going to do, or I've got this out, just scoop up some of the grease and cover the roast with it. This helps with the crackling somewhat. Alright, now we are going to add the rest of the roast veggies. So we need to work quickly so that the oven doesn't cool too much. Okay. So anywhere where you can find room, add a potato to it. Right, so there's plenty of oil on the base, but I'm just going to spray a little more with the spray. And now I'm going to do as I did with the other tray of potatoes, salt and pepper them. Okay, just go easy on the pepper. And now we return the tray to the oven and add this one to it. Okay, so they should now roast for the good 45 minutes, or maybe a bit less since I took it out of the oven for that minute there, but yeah. Anyway, see you in 45. Okay, we still got quite a bit of time left before the roast is ready. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that around so that it roasts on both sides to help hopefully make the crackling taste nice and turn out. Okay. Time's up. Let's see how we did. Well, the crackling turned out okay, but the middle bit here didn't. So like I said, crackling's not always going to turn out the way we want it, no matter how well we do the rubbing off the moisture and adding the salt and spraying the oil. Okay, but most of it got covered. So yeah, and now we've got to allow 10 minutes for this to rest. Or stand, whatever you like to call it. So yeah, see you in 10. Right, what we're going to do, well, it's going to be about 10 minutes before we can eat this properly. So we're going to, while we're allowing that to stand, let's transfer all the food onto this plate. Transfer the vegetables. Does anyone even listen to the radio anymore? Because I just said on the news, tune into 5AA, the speed camera locations for tomorrow, but does anyone still even listen to the radio? It's good they're still around. You know, a bit of nostalgia there, but... don't know. Just don't want to say anything offensive, that's all. And we got the veggies from this tray. Many of them got stuck to the tray, but it's still not too bad. Still edible. And some of them were a bit crispy. Some people like crispy, but some unfortunately don't. I don't mind it too. I don't mind it if it's a bit crispy. This is me personally, but yeah, not too crispy. If that makes sense. So yeah, I made a shitload of veggies here. Okay, but yeah. So there's plenty for everyone. Alright. There we go. But we're not done yet. So see you after. Alright, so the 10 minutes of resting has finished. So yeah, now we're gonna transfer the roast vegetables into this bowl. Okay, so what we're going to do is just carefully put them in there because I just wanted to, you know, put them on this plate with the pork for presentation purposes. Okay. Oh, that's my beautiful girl. Okay. And joining us tonight is special guest camera girl, my friend Manda. Remember from the squid tempura video I did?
Hi everyone.
When she's doing the voices of the fish.
Now I can do the voice of the vegetables. We are nice and crispy and golden. And delicious side for the roast pork. Are we giving our friend a break by going into the bowl?
That's true.
I'm having a veggie party! Yay!
Oh, I like that movie Sausage Party. Anyone see that?
Yeah, that movie, yeah.
Okay, so now that all the veggies are out of the way, we are going to cut the strings off the roast.
Everybody be careful with this bit because you don't want to end up cutting your finger off in the process.
That is absolutely correct. So I'm just using the tongs to hold it. And now, just pull the string off. Doesn't matter if the bottom bit doesn't come out. Alright, so we've got that. And now...
Oh, that sounds good.
It does, doesn't it? Now let's just gently tear that off. Oh, hang on. No, there's a hidden string in here.
Oh, it was hidden string. Luckily you found that.
Because remember, let that be a lesson. It can be the same colour as the skin or the crackling.
I can hear crunchy. I can hear crunch.
So gently pull that off. See how that comes off and put it on the plate. Right now, we can easily take the rest of the string off. Okay, now let's cut it up with my electric knife. Alright, so yeah, got this from Kmart for about $20 a few years ago. And these are the teeth that we're going to equip to the electric knife, and I've got here a smaller one, but that's mainly for cutting bread and non-meat products. So I recommend using the bigger teeth.
It does a really good job, by the way. I've used it too, so...
That's right. You've got one, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It's like a chainsaw. Now let's get cutting.
Oh.
Look how that glides through the meat.
And look at all the steam coming out.
That is awesome.
Very tender.
You know what this reminds me of? When I went, a couple times actually, up to this town called Harndorf. And at the end of every month, they have this special event where they carve up a whole roast pork, crackling and all. I forget what it was called.
And this roast pork that they have is whole and it's decorated and it comes out on a big platter. And they celebrate it before they cut it up.
That's right. Yeah. But they haven't been able to do that since COVID hit, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. There you have it. You got your nice carved up roast pork.
How good does that look, people? One of Dan's specialties.
Now we are going to serve it up. So I've got this nice clean plate. Okay, and we're going to... that's a bit of a thick piece, but that's all right.
That's all right.
Okay, so we'll get like 2 thinly sliced pieces. We'll try to add an extra one.
That should be it. Oh, it's your choice. You can do what you like.
Yeah, so yeah, you can have more or less. So let's do that. Add some of the roast veggies.
Oh, they look really good.
Some of them are nice and crispy. Yeah, add a bit more sweet
That's
potato.
what you want on it, people. Especially with the sweet potato. Can you see it's a bit more like brownish? I think that's because of the sweetness of the sweet potato.
That's true. Okay.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yes, please, my friend. Okay, and now I've got here a jar of applesauce, a staple for roast pork.
Oh, you got to have that on it.
So drizzle.
Wow, that's all.
As much or as little as you want. Or you trust me, you want that.
That looks good.
Okay. And also, something I need to add, folks, when eating crackling, be very careful not to chomp down too hard. Otherwise, you will be getting a very large dental bill if you're not careful. All right?
And my dentist even said that.
That's correct. So yeah, just bite softly, please. I cannot emphasize that enough. All right? There you have it, folks. A nice roast pork with roast veggies dinner. And crackling.
That looks so delicious.
Oh, and we mustn't.
Oh, what have we forgotten? Oh, the crackling. You cannot forget the crackling. That stuff is amazing.
Enjoy.